you know, I think we definitely should.
Right.
And also, Laura, are you still there?
I know, I have to go sign. Yes.
Okay, just so you know, I was anticipating this being a very short meeting, and I have something that I need to be doing at right about 6. So if we get up to the 6 o'clock mark, I'm going to step out for the rest of the meeting.
Well, we have a goal.
So just letting you know in case we get there, so that you're primed and ready. I'll announce it once we get the meeting going too.
Sounds good. I think we'll probably cover everything by 6.
Yeah, I think so.
Hey, we are back and it looks like our AV equipment is all online. So
good.
The threat of talking to me scared it into working.
Well, you're pretty scary, Mark. So.
Yeah.
Okay, and there's Kenworthy. So, oh shoot, hold on, bear with me. My computer, I figured out why it does it. It shuts me off sometimes. I can't put my iPad up against it. Okay, I will call the February 10th, 2021 Planning Commission meeting to order. The notice of electronic meetings and how to comment virtually. Wait, bear with me. Where did it go? Okay, Chair, no. There it is. Okay, public notice is hereby given that the Planning Commission of Park City, Utah will hold its regular Planning Commission meeting at the City Council Chambers, 445 Marsack Avenue, Park City, Utah, 84060 for the purposes and at the times as described below on Wednesday, February 24th, 2021. The notice of electronic meeting and how to comment virtually reads, this meeting will be an electronic meeting without an anchor location as permitted by Utah Code Open and Public Meetings Act Section 52-4-2074 as amended June 18th of 2020 and Park City Resolution 18-2020 adopted March 19th of 2020. The written determination of a substantial health and safety risk required by Utah Code Section 52-4-2074 is attached as Exhibit A. Planning Commission members will connect electronically. Public comments will be accepted virtually as described below. To comment virtually, raise your hand on Zoom. Written comments submitted before or during the meeting will be entered into the public record but not read aloud. For more information on participating virtually and to listen live, please go to www.parkcity.org/public-meetings. Exhibit A, the determination of substantial health and safety risk. The board chair has determined that conducting a meeting with an anchor location presents a substantial risk to the health and safety of those who may be present at the anchor location. Utah Code Section 52-4-2074 requires this determination and the facts upon which it is based, which include statewide COVID cases and hospitalizations remain high. Based on metrics established by the statewide COVID-19 transmission index, Summit County moved to the high-risk designation on October 22nd of 2020, and Park City is a resort community continually hosting visitors from areas which may be experiencing rapid COVID-19 spread. This determination is valid for 30 days and is set to expire on March 24th, 2021, dated February 24th, 2021. So I called the meeting to order before I opened that. So next we have roll call and all commissioners are present. And we have all our city staff here as well. And so the first thing, or the next thing is the minutes of approval. Consideration to approve the Planning Commission meeting minutes from February 10th of 21. Does anybody have any corrections or changes to make to the minutes?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the February 10, 2021 minutes as written.
A second.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Tim, a second by Commissioner Suser. Commissioner Hall,
Aye.
Commissioner Van Dyne,
Aye.
and Commissioner Kenworthy.
Aye.
Okay, minutes are approved. Next is public communications. Is there anyone from the public wishing to speak on an item that is not on the agenda? You can raise your hand. Okay, I'm not seeing anyone. So we'll move on to staff and board communications and disclosures. Gretchen, you got anything for us?
I have something. So we are officially the guinea pig meeting for the new AV system. And so you'll notice if you're looking at the screen that shows all of the cameras that are on, you'll notice a view of council chambers. These are new cameras that were installed in the ceiling. There's one facing the dais and then there's one facing like where the presenters would sit. And then all of the microphones have been integrated into the new AV system as well. So the purpose behind this is that when we go back to in-person meetings, I believe that the city is looking towards being able to continue to provide people an opportunity to do these meetings, you know, to view them from home and participate from home should they choose to. So the purpose behind the new AV system is to have, you know, a hybrid system that allows for people in the room as well as people from home to participate in these meetings. If anybody took part in any of the meetings when we had the owl, you'll remember it was kind of in the middle of the room and we'd have to move it from time to time. This essentially replaces the owl and I had a demonstration of it earlier. It's incredibly crisp. The video is great, the audio is great. And unfortunately, like I said, we were the guinea pig, so we had a couple of issues right at first, but we seem to have gotten them working. So you can look forward to, you know, that technology being available and us being able to give the public, you know, more ways to participate as we kind of navigate, you know, how we're holding these meetings and, you know, as things with COVID change over time, you know, going back to seeing everyone's smiling faces in person. So that's all from me.
Okay, awesome. I was in the IT department a couple weeks ago and getting some support, and they had let me know about this. They seemed pretty jazzed about it. And honestly, I think it's, you know, one of the positive things that we'll take out of 2020 and everyone learning how to participate virtually, I think, you know, is going to change the landscape of our world. And to have that additional tool to allow people to get involved and have their voices heard, I think is amazing. So I'm glad that we get to be the guinea pig, and it's probably a good meeting for that too. So you said there's multiple cameras. So when there's someone presenting, there'll be a camera there too?
Yes, we're actually equipped with 2 iPads that we have here in council chambers, and we'll be able to change the view from the camera view that you're seeing right now to the view that the camera that points directly back from there. And then we'll have the ability to pan, you know, left, right, up, down, zoom in, zoom out, etc. So yep, there's the 2 cameras, and then all of the existing microphones that we had earlier are still in place. And the nice thing about it is that there's actually like a kill switch on the audio, so we can with one button we can turn it off It's called the privacy mode. And so, when we take breaks for some of these longer meetings, it's actually a lot easier than what we were doing before, where we had to, kind of navigate multiple systems. So it does seem like there's going to be an increase in the number of hands that will need to host these meetings while we're doing them hybrid, but that's something that we'll eventually figure out and sort through. And I don't know if, hey, Scott or Jolene, do you mind shooting the one camera to the other view so they can see what it looks like? The council chambers one. Anyway, Scott and Jolene from IT are both in here today since, there we go. So there's the other camera.
Okay, good. Yeah, awesome. Great. Look at that. That's cool.
Yeah. And nothing to trip over anymore and nothing to move. So we'll be much better.
Very cool. Okay. Any other disclosures? Communications? Laura, do you want to go ahead and ask your question you were talking about earlier? Or Commissioner Suser, I'm sorry.
Sure. I was just wondering, Gretchen, if I saw those House bills that you sent around today and the update that you sent around just before the meeting, and I just thought if you'd like to provide your response to that, or give us some guidance on what you think about those House bills.
Thanks, Laura. Yeah, I mean, those were more just informative to let you know kind of where we're at right now. I believe Mark's on the call. He might be better to comment on this in terms of, because he's been a lot more following this a lot more closely than I have. I've been more of just the messenger here to let you know what's going on and keep you all informed. Mark, do you want to?
Sure. Just briefly, if you didn't see, you've got 2 emails that just provide an update regarding House Bill 98 and your city account. Primarily to do with both building inspections and design review authority of local governments. Legislature would like to limit those. As predicted in the first email, the second email illustrates that the league has gone neutral in trying to combat the legislation since some compromises were made primarily on the building inspection end of the bill. However, we were also with the help of the league and some other cities, some additional language for our historic districts and historic sites inventory overlay districts. So anything that was in place prior to January 2021 will likely, if the bill stays as currently drafted now, as a first substitute has been introduced since the first email. We're hopeful that we'll retain that design review in those areas. It will make significant changes to non-historic areas and how we approach design review of single family and duplex, both new proposals and changes. So we'll, depending on the final language of the bill, we'll have to evaluate what changes to both our architectural chapter in the land management code and other sections are going to be necessary. So it is likely a net loss, but we prioritize retaining design review in the historic districts.
Thanks so much for that, Mark. It's really helpful. Thanks.
Okay. Well, if there's nothing else for us to discuss, then I'll move into the general agenda with our only item, which is 1203 Park Avenue Plat Amendment. And we have Planner Jackson with us. How are you?
Doing well. How are you doing?
Good.
Good. Well, thank you. I'll go ahead and get started. I've got Planner Jackson, like you said, but we also have Karen Backstrom, who is representing the applicant on this plat amendment application. I'll share my screen as well so that we can kind of have a visual just as we talk. Okay. So this is 1203 Park Avenue, corner lot. Just a simple run-of-the-mill Old Town lot combination of a lot and a half. You can see in green that that's the lot line proposed for removal. And then of course, blue line is the property line, red are some encroachments. Currently there's a fence along the back line as well as along the rear line on the west, as well as the garage on the west and south line that encroach over the property line, and some pathways as well. And those are set for removal. The applicant also has a historic district design review in that is going to be removing this house and replacing it with a single family dwelling. But again, pretty standard, no real concerns on staff's end. And we have received no public comment thus far. And of course, I'm here for questions, but staff recommends that the commission review the proposal, hold a public hearing, and consider forwarding this on as a positive recommendation to City Council for the March 18th, 2021 meeting for the 1203 Park Avenue plat amendment.
Can you show me where Park Avenue the other part of the street that we can
Yes.
see?
Yep,
Okay.
it's the one, yep, to the east.
Okay, just so I can picture where this is at. So,
Yep, and this is next to Puggy's house, the purple house.
okay.
Mhm.
Commissioners, any questions on this? These are usually straightforward, but sometimes there's something to discuss. If not, then I don't have any.
I guess I have one question, Liz. Was any part of this home of historical significance before the garage was put on? Was the front part of the house significant in any way?
So oddly, no. So we don't have a record even in our ILS forms, the ones that we've done that have been kind of the survey of Park City, as well as our historic site inventory forms. We don't have one for the site. It is kind of funny you mentioned it, Laura, because staff had recommended to the applicant that they do there's no real tie to it being historic because all of the changes had made it so it no longer was contributing. But we have been working with the applicant on the HDDR to kind of preserve some elements of it, but unfortunately, no, it's kind of deceptively not. It seems like it might be, but it's not. It's not on our list.
And then is the foundation of the existing house, it's encroaching on the north boundary line, right?
I don't believe on the north, unless Karen can correct me, but we do you mean on the opposite side of the garage?
Right up against the purple house. Is it encroaching into that setback?
In the setback, yes. It is. It's not on the property line, but yes, it is about up to 2 feet.
Yeah.
When the setback's 5 on that side.
So when they raise it and put up a single family, they have to rip out anything that's in that setback then?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the proposal is to just demolish the whole thing and then just build new. And so they'll have to comply with the land management code. Yep.
Right. Okay, that's all I had.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, unless there's any other questions, can I get a motion on this?
Did you open the public hearing, John?
Oh, no, I did not. I will open the public hearing. If there's anyone here from the public, go ahead and raise your hand. And seeing no one, I'll close the public hearing. Commissioners?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the plat amendment for 1203 Park Avenue.
Let me get the
According
wording.
to the findings of fact, conclusions of law, and conditions of approval as outlined in the draft ordinance.
I second.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Suster, a second by Commissioner Kenworthy. Commissioner Tim,
Aye.
Commissioner Hall,
Aye.
and Commissioner Van Dyne.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. And that concludes our evening. So if I could just get a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All right, 2 easy ones in a row. I hope the next one challenges us. We need a,
Great. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.
yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Night.
Planner Jackson.
Thanks.
Guys.
See you guys.
Thanks, everyone.